What's going on, YouTube? Hope you guys are having a great day. And today I wanted to talk about something that is very special to me, and that is talking a little bit about my relationship. And I guess the reason why I'm bringing this to YouTube is because on Instagram I've been posting some healthy relationship tips that I feel like people have been enjoying. So I thought I'd share a little bit more in detail about the things that I'm learning and the journey that I'm on in terms of my relationship with Sola. And just a brief overview, we've been dating for about 2 years now, and I know that we have a long journey ahead, many other chapters to still play out, but I thought just based on these last 2 years, I've learned a lot, I've experienced a lot, so why not share some of the things that I've learned about my healthy relationship to you guys. Yeah, that's what this video is going to be about, and I hope that it helps some of you guys out there as well. So before we get to the rest of the video, I wanted to shout out the sponsor of today's video, Fabletics. This month they sent me a lot of shorts that I wanted to share with you guys real quick. They have a special going on right now where if you sign up for the VIP program, you can get shorts for $10 each. So I wanted to show you guys a couple of pairs of shorts that I've been wearing all summer. First off, we got the year-round Terry shorts. I like these because they feel like loungewear, but they're still like stylish. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the design gives it a little bit of edge to it, and it even has zip pockets, which I really like. These ones, fire. The second shorts are these Dawn shorts, and the best part about it is I feel like I could dress it up or down if I wanted to. Like right now I'm wearing a button-up shirt, and it's also water resistant and super stretchy. So super comfortable. You can wear these inside, you can wear these outside, and this is how it looks from the back. And then lastly, one of my personal favorites are these black mesh shorts. I feel like the mesh design just styles themselves. And honestly, I feel like you just need one of these in your closet and you are good to go for any time you need to wear a pair of shorts. So if you want any of these shorts for $10, sign up for the VIP program. When you sign up, you'll get 80% off your first order and 50% off site-wide forever. Membership is flexible, so you can opt out of your payment every single month. But if you choose to pay the membership fee of $60, you'll get a $100 credit to spend on any item that you'd like. So check it out. Happy shopping. And with that, let's get back to today's video. So I guess I'll start out talking about our relationship and how we met, our little love story. So this was about 2 years ago now, and I was living with some friends at the time. So I had 3 other roommates, and I walked downstairs, and I remember coming downstairs and my 3 roommates were watching a podcast. And I'm sure some of you guys watching this are familiar with the podcast, but it was called the 949 podcast. Sola was on the screen and she was a guest on the podcast. And this was a podcast I didn't know of. I didn't really watch podcasts, but my roommates were watching it. So I sat down and I was like, damn, like, who's that? Who's that on the screen? And she was just talking about her life and how she just moved to LA and how she was single. And I was like, wow, I feel like we would get along. I watched the whole episode and she was just talking about her values and her life, and I just had a gut feeling that we would get along. So I remember after the episode ended, I turned to my roommates and I was like, I swear to you guys, I think I can meet her. You know, this was the time when I was growing on social media. I was just starting content. I heard that she was in the content influencer space as well. So I was like, guys, I swear I think I can meet her. And you know what? Like, I am gonna meet her. And you guys will meet her too. Just watch. I don't know why that came out of my mouth. It honestly was just like a gut feeling. Like, I'm going to meet her and you guys are going to meet her too. And like implying that, you know, we were going to date. I remember my roommates were kind of making fun of it. They're like, shut up, Scott. You're full of shit. Like, stuff like that. But I was like, no, guys, I'm serious. A couple weeks go by after the episode and I found out that a mutual friend actually knows both me and her. We had a mutual and we were both following her. And I asked that mutual, I said, yo, like, you know this person? Can you introduce us? And the mutual was like, she actually already started dating someone since she came to LA. And that was only within like a couple of weeks of the episode. So I was kind of bummed. And I remember saying like, damn, okay, it's all good. I can wait. Okay, like we can get introduced another time. So kind of waited on it. Another couple weeks go by and the mutual friend comes back to me and says, Scott, they actually just broke up. Would you want me to introduce you? So I was like, hell yeah, let's make it happen. So now this was like 3-4 weeks after I watched the podcast episode. So maybe a month after. The mutual friend was kind enough to introduce both of us. We all 3 of us got happy hour. And it was literally just us getting happy hour. She didn't know that it was a setup. It was just like, hey, come out, let's have some drinks with some friends. And it was literally just me, Sola, and my mutual friend. And then after that happy hour hangout, we were texting for a week or 2. And then we decided to hang out again. So Sol and I got together for one weekend and the rest was history. Like, we clicked so well that weekend and it was just like instantaneously. We both just knew that like it just felt right and it felt natural and it felt good. So after that weekend, we continued to text and then I asked her if she wanted to come over for some hot pot. And she obviously said yes. She came over for some hot pot. I had it with my roommates. And that was like the full circle moment. I turned to my roommates after that night and I was like, I told you guys would meet her. I know that was like a month and a half maybe after we watched the podcast episode. So it was kind of crazy how fast it happened. So that is the story of how Sola and I met. And I thought I'd share the takeaways that I had from my story and that story. And this takeaway is especially for the singles out there, because before I met Sola, I was single for like 4 years. That period of my life, like I was always okay with getting a relationship, but I never settled and I knew exactly what I wanted, so I wouldn't really settle for anything less. But this is my first piece of advice to anybody that is single out there that is looking for their partner. In my opinion, I think your love life is just another pillar of life. Just as is career, just as is your physical health, just as is your mental health. I think your love life and your relationship is a pillar that should be fostered and treated with intent and treated with effort and energy in order to achieve that dream relationship or that dream partner that you've always wanted. Like just as much as you can pour into your career and your skills and develop your skills as a professional and make it to your way to the top, if you really wanted to climb the corporate ladder or manifest starting your own business or whatever it is, I think the same thing can be applied to your love life. And your objective is to come out with a healthy relationship and find your partner. Like you must invest time and energy and effort into that area of your life, or else it's not just gonna happen. Like you need to like put effort and energy into it in order for that to happen and for you to receive that. Like how I would do it is spend time thinking about the ideal relationship that you want. Spend time thinking about the ideal partner that you want. Spend time thinking about where you would potentially be able to meet someone like that. In what city, in what area would you have to move? You know, just as much as you would move for a job, like why wouldn't you move to a place if that increased your likelihood of meeting someone that is of your ideal candidate? That is what I mean by you can invest time and energy as just as much as you would your career into your relationship and into finding your dream partner. Another piece of advice I had for anybody single out there is to stop treating dates with so much heaviness. Like keep it light. You know, you don't have to go into every date thinking that you're going to meet your dream partner. You know, when you meet someone in person organically, you don't think like, is this person going to be my wife? Is this person going to be my husband? Like that's not how we think on a day-to-day basis. So why would you go into a date thinking that same thing? You're just meeting another person. When I was single and I was going on dates, I just kept it light. I guess the perspective I went into dates is I'm just meeting another person and I'm going to try to have a good time and just have the best time I can. But, you know, I'm not going to put this like heavy weight of like, yeah, I'm trying to meet my dream partner because I don't even know what that looks like. I feel like that is more of like a feeling. What you think it looks like might not be how it actually presents itself. So I just kept an open mind. I go in and just be like, yeah, I'm meeting another person and yeah, hopefully I have a good time and hopefully this person's cool and we click and we match. And sometimes you go into a date and you realize like, oh, like this person's pretty cool. I'd just be their friend. So if you are single and you do those two things, number one, you treat your relationship and your love life with intent, with energy, with time, with effort. Like if you put that and invest that into your love life and into finding your dream partner and like actually breaking it down just as you would with your career. And then number two, you keep it light. Like everybody that you meet is just another person. And you know, you don't have to go in to every date so heavily. You do those two things, I promise you in due time, you will find someone that is like of a perfect match and that is of your ideal partner that you didn't even really know existed. But if I was single, that's exactly how I'd do it. I'd do those two things. Now let's talk on the other side. When you do meet that person, right? I want to tell you that if you know, you know. Like that statement is so valid. That statement is so true. And that's the reason why like I saw it on the screen. I saw her personality, I saw her values, and I was like we would click, we would get along. And I just had that feeling. So if you know, you know. I truly think like do not settle. If you feel like this is a little off, or if you have any inkling of doubt, like that doubt, trust your gut. I feel like people need to trust their gut more when it comes to relationships and when it comes to love. Like your gut speaks loudly, so trust it. If you know, you know. But let's say you do all these things, you find your dream partner, and now you're in a relationship that is new, that is starting, that is blossoming, that is fresh. Here are 3 tips that I have for you guys in order to continue thriving in your relationship. Here are 3 healthy relationship tips that I have. Number 1 is to come in whole. Like, you want to come in as an independent person. There's a saying in relationships like, you are my other half, right? I actually don't like that saying that much, because I don't think that it should be like two halves completing each other to make things full. I think it should be two independent people coming in whole and amplifying each other so much that they become, it's like 1 + 1 = 3 type thing, you know? Like, it's not two halves. I think it's like two fulls that come together and synergize and elevate and amplify. Tip number 1 is to work on yourself, to come in independently, to understand your value, and to come into the relationship whole and independent. Don't get me wrong, Sola and I love spending time with each other. And in fact, like, sometimes there are times where like both of us are kind of like needy. Not needy in a sense where we need each other, but needy in a sense like we want to spend more time together. That still exists in a relationship where both people are independent. However, I think wanting to be together is different than depending on each other. If you're depending on them to make you feel better, if you're depending on them to ease your anxieties or ease your depressions, like, that dependency, I think, in my opinion, is unhealthy. So there's a difference between dependency and actually just wanting to be together and wanting to share. And that kind of bleeds into my second tip of a healthy relationship, is to elevate together and to amplify each other. I feel like that's so important to have that perspective, because you don't want to be in a competition with your partner. If she wins, I win, and if I win, she wins. And that is the perspective that I feel like all relationships should have, because at the end of the day, like, that's what a relationship and a marriage is. The agreement and the commitment to each other that we're gonna devote our lives to each other. I feel like if we're taking on life together and all of life's challenges, like, we better be a team. And when you win, like, I'm gonna celebrate, and when I win, she's gonna celebrate. So I feel like there cannot be any sense of competition between two people, especially in a relationship. Like, in my opinion, that would be like so tiring and unhealthy. So yeah, get rid of all the competitiveness out and like think of it as you guys are just on the same team. And then my last piece of advice is for anybody that is in a relationship and that doesn't feel like they're in a relationship that is up to the standard that they want the relationship to be in, and they've been working on it for years and years. I guess that's pretty specific, but I guess my third tip is to stop justifying low tier relationships. If you feel like you're in a relationship where you have to justify it and you have to constantly defend it, that's probably not a great sign. In my opinion, if you are justifying your relationship to everybody around you, if you're justifying it to yourself, like, you're saying yes to a relationship that is below your standard. And what that means is you're actually saying no to a relationship that could possibly be out there or potentially be out there that is more aligned with you and what you want. One of the reasons why I ended up here in the relationship that I am in now was because I was single for 4 years. I wasn't going to be in a relationship with someone just because it felt good at the time. I needed it to feel right, not good. So I think to summarize that last point, I think understanding that saying yes to a relationship that you have to justify is saying no to a future partner that could potentially be out there. But I guess to summarize the 3 takeaways, in my opinion, of a healthy relationship is to, number 1, you come in whole. Number 2, you elevate together, you amplify each other, and you tackle life as a team. And then number 3, don't settle. Don't justify your relationship. If you know, you know. But yeah, these are my 3 tips for a healthy relationship. Some takeaways that I've had in the past 2 years of dating my wonderful, lovely girlfriend. And yeah, hopefully this helps some of you guys out there. I don't know. I feel like dating is such an important thing. Like, your love life is such an important thing, and we should invest more time and energy into it. But yeah, comment below if you agree or disagree with any of my points. I'm curious to see like what the relationship status is of my community here. So if you guys agree or disagree, I'm interested. I'm happy to talk it through. But yeah, these are just some things that I feel like I've learned over the last 2 years. And you know what? There's still a lot for me to learn over the course of our next chapters. I'm sure of it. So hopefully this helps some of you guys, some of the singles, some people in relationships, anywhere in between. Hope you guys got some value out of this. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.